Hello everyone, I'm Sally Maya Yip, the founder and MD of 11K. Today I'm super excited to be in Hong Kong, reconnecting with Joe Ahim, the Director of Greater China's at Cup Wine Investment today. Joe and I actually met in London last June when we were still quite under lockdown globally, and now China has just reopened the border, and personally I could also travel to Hong Kong. So I'm super happy to meet you again, Joe.
Likewise, Sally.
Thank you.
You come to visit me here this time, which is good.
Yes, of course,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to. So today we are at Cup Wine's Hong Kong office, and I'm going to ask Joe about the latest insights and the updates in the China-Hong Kong market. So Joe, I know that now China has reopened the border. So how has it impacted wine investments and also the wine investment market generally in China and Hong Kong?
Yeah, I think for obvious reasons, the fact that individuals in mainland China are able to travel around the country freely, they're able to go to restaurants, they're able to drink wine, go and see friends and family as they wish, I think is really positive for the wine market, because that means that demand is going to be on increase. And I think that, coupled with that, there's been a lot of challenges with China with regards to logistics, with regards to shipping containers, with regards to border controls. It's all been very, very tricky for importers to get wine into China. So now that these are easing or have eased, then that's really positive for the wine market. And we're already seeing the impact of that. So, whereas trading volumes and import volumes were down in 2022, if we look at our own business and the wines that we sell to Hong Kong traders and China importers, those volumes are actually up by 80% in Q1 Q1 of this year compared to the final 3 quarters of last year. Amazing. And they're actually at a level of last seen in Q1 of 2020, which we can assume is sort of pre-pandemic levels. So look, really encouraging signs, and I think that's only going to be positive for the overall wine market, because the last 2 years the wine market's been in a really strong growth cycle, and that's with China, which is the largest consumption market, being completely out of the game. Well, not completely out of the game, but having one hand tied behind their back. So the fact that you add China at pre-pandemic levels into that mix, then that's very, very positive, and something that we're really excited about.
Excellent. That's really positive sign when we know that wine is doing well.
Yeah.
It means the luxury lifestyle retail brands should also follow a similar pattern. And do you have any plan to visit China this year, as now?
Yeah, absolutely. I've wanted to go throughout the whole period, but it just hasn't really been possible. I think that before all this was kicking off, I was going on a monthly basis, and I want to get back to that sort of level. So I'm actually going on this Sunday, this weekend. Wow. I'm going to Shanghai.
Exciting.
Very exciting. We've got a team there. I haven't actually met before. We've been working with each other for the last 3 years. So really excited about seeing them and spending some time with them, and also just getting a bit of a feel of what's happening in China, because I imagine it might be quite a different place compared to 3 years ago. And I think that going in at a moment when there's a lot of optimism around seems like a sensible idea. So going on Sunday, and looking forward to seeing how things are.
Great, I should interview you again after you have come back from China to give us the real first-hand.
I'll send you a postcard.
Yes, great. How does this year look like for you in 2023?
Firstly, obviously we're very excited about where the market is going, and the prospect of China coming back in, as I mentioned, coming back in a big way, in a meaningful way. And for our own business, I think, as we spoke about last time, and as I'm sure a lot of people who've been watching our business know, we've been building a trading platform called Colex. A lot has gone into that.
Yes.
It's actually released, so we've sort of soft launched in the market, and it's being trialled by a select number of people sort of getting used to the platform. That's going to be a really big focus for us globally, and I think Hong Kong and China is a really important part of that. So planning our sort of activation for that in this region is something that we're doing at the moment. That's going to be really exciting. We think it's something that's going to really change the market and help a lot of wine buyers around the world, and offer something that's not already available. And it's down to us to sort of activate that properly and make sure it's a success. But that's going to be a big focus for us. Outside of that, I think it's working with our existing investors and clients across the region.
Yeah.
Going to see a lot of them in China that we haven't been able to do. So that, alongside our winemaking partners coming to Hong Kong, coming to China, helping support them and getting them to see some of their end customers would be be really exciting. It's something that we're already in discussions to do. So yeah, I think 2023 there's a lot of positivity and optimism around this area. I think it's going to be a very, very important part of our business for this year. It is anyway, but I think in comparison to other regions, which Europe is not necessarily in such a positive shape in comparison to here, where there's a lot of optimism around. So this particular region is going to be really exciting this year.
Amazing. And do you mind briefly explaining what CupX platform does?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's essentially a trading platform whereby individual collectors and investors and wine buyers can go on and trade their own collections or look for specific wines that they want to buy. So essentially our platform will be a sort of one-stop shop, if you like, for market-leading data analytics, market-leading pricing, which is really crucial. Valuing wines accurately in the wine market is very, very difficult, and we feel we've solved that because we have an exclusive partnership with WineSearcher over their data, which is the richest data in the market. And also, having the sort of largest single store and availability of wine in one place for people to go and essentially choose from and buy themselves. So, it could be something that isn't available already on the market. It is something that's not available already on the market. And, I think that it solves a lot of issues from an inefficiency perspective that wine buyers face in the market, and that's something that we're trying to rectify. So yeah, really exciting. A lot of work has gone into it, and we're at the stage where we have a product, it's on the market, and people are using it. We're really proud of that, and it's going to be an exciting few months to try and get that up to speed and launch in the market properly.
Excellent. So more transparency, more efficiency to wine collectors, investors.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So what are your priorities in China, in Asia region?
Yeah. Well, I think, around the Coltech side is to launch that properly to a level that we're happy with in terms of the targets we have in mind. And there's, plans around to try and achieve that. And then for our cult wine investment business, I think we have a really solid foundation both in China and Hong Kong. Our team across the region has done a really, really good job in terms of growing our business. And I think now, given the situation we're in with regards to everything opening up and being a little bit more freer for people to go and move around and meet clients and grow our business, I think that we have pretty high expectations for what we'll achieve this year. I think that it's essentially more of the same with regards to our cult wine investment business, and for our CultX business is to execute that properly.
Amazing. Yes, very exciting. Before we end our conversation, is there anything you want to say to our audiences in the West and in the East?
Yeah, sure. I think when I speak to my friends and colleagues and business partners in the UK, the US, I get the impression that there is still a perception that you don't want to come to Hong Kong, you don't want to come to China because of these, whatever reasons, that have been reported in the media. But I think that that's really not the case. And I think if anyone is thinking about coming to the region to do business here, there's huge opportunity, as there always has been. But the fact that there's been this pent-up demand here, particularly in China for the last 3 years, I think that anyone should take a lot of encouragement from that and try and get over to the region in order to formulate a plan, what the business they want to do in the region, or sort of look after existing relationships, etc. Because I think that I get the impression that people are quite wary to come here, and that just shouldn't be the case. That's to my friends in the West. And I think to everyone, it's in terms of the wine market itself, I think everyone should be very excited about what's happening in this market, because it's not easy for investors out there. Still, there's a lot of volatility around in traditional asset classes. The wine market has proved to be a real bright spot for investors over the last 2 years, and I think that continues, particularly with sort of opening of China and the increased demand from that region. I think that there's a lot of positivity around, and I think that's still quite difficult to come by for investors globally. So I think that if people have been considering looking at this in the past, they should have another look and consider it, because I think we're all set for a pretty exciting year.
Yes, I totally agree with what Joe said. Now I'm in Hong Kong myself, but you have to come here and really you can feel the optimism and the positivity that people want to do things, people want to re-engage. Exciting times ahead, and hopefully we'll even do better than before the pandemic.
Yes, agreed.
So Thank you. Thanks a lot, Joe. And my own takeaway from Joe today is really the positive mistake and opportunities future. And if you want to get to know more about wine investment and the wine market investment opportunities, please do speak to Joe. I will make sure to leave Joe contact behind. Thanks. So that you all can call Joe and find him when you are going to Hong Kong and China.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ellie.
Yes.
See you soon.
Thanks all for watching. Thank you.
Bye.